Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting matchup for the new year. Guys, it is 2022. We have a brand new year with more and more Go content. And so I'm super excited. Just before we get started, my New Year's resolution is to build this channel even more. Now, granted, I did take a couple months off, continuing on from the last video, but I am good. I'm ready to go, and I'm hoping to be as consistent as I can be and balancing this channel, working this channel with my work schedule as well. So I'm hoping at least one commentary a week, maybe two if I can fit it in, but at least one commentary a week. And I'm hoping that you guys are entertained and learning as I am when I'm watching these live games of professional players as well as amateur players such as you and me throughout the whole year. And so let's get started. Without further ado, let me introduce our players today. So playing as the Blackstones, we have a 9-dan professional player, Choi Jeong. And she, at least from my research, at least from what I can research on Google, she is known to be the Queen of Go currently. And her opponent is Changseok. I don't know how to pronounce that. Again, I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but he will be playing as the Whitestones, who is an 8-dan professional player as well. And so a lot of the commentary is from myself, from me analyzing these games as a double digits Q player. I'm currently practicing and trying to get better with my game and my playstyle. And hopefully my commentary is going to get better as we keep learning and keep growing. And so I'm really excited. What we have right now is a current 4 corners starting point, very standard, as well as a knight's approach from the Blackstones, from Choi. She did do a knight's approach right here, and Lee responded in kind. Now, what Choi is doing is something that I'm not used to seeing quite often. We do have an extension on the 5-4 position right here. Not an extension, but a step away. I don't know what that's called. I'm still learning the vocabulary, guys. I'm a beginner, just like a lot of you guys. So we're learning. But she is going to pretty much tell Lee, hey, you're going to approach the knight's approach. Fine. I'm going to defend my little corner right here. This is a very nice area for a defense statement. At least if I was to play, that's what I'm going to be seeing. And it's also going to give Choi the opportunity to just kind of extend out later on in the game. So we'll see how this plays out. But Lee responded with her knight's move from this one stone right here with his own pincer attack. And so what we can see is that since Choi did approach on that 3-4 position, Lee is going to be approaching, or not approaching, but pincering her single stone right here with the stone of his own on D7. And she then responded with a 1-space extension or 1-space jump. And so now what we have right here is somewhat of a center of conflict right here. We do see a knight's extension right here, as well as a wall being built. And so Choi has to watch out. Right now, she does have these 3 stones that looks like they're going to get surrounded really heavily. But that's not necessarily the case, especially in the early portions of this game. We don't know essentially what stones are going to get disconnected right off the bat. That's okay. But what we do see is that Choi is going to start building this nice fortification right here, this nice little boundary, this little border that is pretty much telling Lee, hey, you can't cross this area. At least what I'm trying to do currently is to try to take some territory right here. I know there's still a lot of potentials that for an invasion, for the white to invade on the bottom corner, but that's okay. We're just going to build a wall first, and we're going to see where this goes. And, you know, with Lee seeing the wall being built, he is going to do an invasion right here, trying to reduce the amount of territory that Choi is going to be getting. And so what we do see is now a center of conflict right here. Again, there's a lot of fighting going on this game, this early in the game. There is a lot of fighting. We have so much potential over here, and no one's paying attention to that. What they're all paying attention to is right here in the center. And what we do see, whoops. what we do see is a lot of conflict. And right now we're pretty much both players are saying, hey, we're not going to exchange just yet. You do your thing, I'm gonna Atari you as well, and let's see if you're gonna take me. You're going to take my one stone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start spreading territory and gaining more influence either towards the edge, gaining my placehold as territorial points, or I'm going to gain influence in the center. And so that's essentially what we see. We do see that these 3 stones right here are now connected with those 3 stones. Even if white tries to come in here and block and disconnect, these stones, these at least 3 stones right here, will be able to extend downwards and connect with the rest of the group. So I'm not too worried about these 3 stones. Yes, Choi has to be careful about those 3 stones right now, or at least keep in the back of her mind. But Lee is essentially going to Tanuki out and start approaching Choi's territory right here in this middle right-hand corner. And so now, what I'm seeing right now is Choi is going to do a 1-space jump, trying to put a lot of pressure right here on these 3 stones. Now, what is this going to do for us? Or at least, what is it going to do for black if there's a lot of pressure? We do see white is responding by putting a lot of pressure on these 2 stones right here. And so maybe for Choi right now, what she's doing is she's trying to save her single stone right here by doing that 1-space jump. She wants to try to run away, trying to reconnect her groups together so that these stones right here aren't as weak. But as she's trying to run away, what Lee is going to do, or at least what I'm seeing that Lee is going to do, or Lee is doing, is he's going to start building potentially a wall right here, as well as reconnecting these 2 stones right here that could potentially get surrounded later on. And so he's pretty much fortifying his positioning while disconnecting these 2 groups of Choi's. And so this is a nice move. Choi sees that if you're going to do the but if you're going to Atari the opponent, that's not really going to do too much in terms of allowing this group to escape. So she opted to go for the shoulder extension right here, trying to get these groups right here to a safer position. She does see that Lee is extending his wall right here, which in turn might prevent Choi from running out with these groups of stones. So these stones right here are somewhat fairly in trouble if she doesn't do much to connect her groups right here with these groups over here. And so what you can see is that she is trying to do that. Lee does see that these 2 groups are trying to reconvene right here somewhere in the center, and so Lee decides to wedge in between the 2 spots. And so he's going to do a 1-space jump, trying to disconnect Choi's 2 groups of stones right here, where excuse me, where right now what we do see is that now we're going to do a double Hani type of move. This is okay. This is going to be a good move right here, just because Lee is essentially connected. I don't see him being disconnected just yet. What maybe what Choi can do is extend right here to the position right here, but Lee decides to block that weak point. And the reason why I noticed that right as I said it, he decided to play it. The reason why I noticed that is because right here is one of the vital points of this shape right here, when you have one eye or one stone and one stone with a blank in the middle. This is what we call an elephant's eye shape. And to kill an elephant's eye or to weaken the elephant's eye, the opposing player should be playing right here, right dab in between the 2 pieces. And so I saw that as being one of the critical areas that Lee should be playing at, or Choi should be playing at, if she wanted to weaken this connection point right here. And so with that being said, let's see what's happening right here. So we do see an Atari right here on these 2 stones. So these 2 stones are essentially captured right now, unless Lee's able to do something. But Lee's essentially going to give up these 2 stones in the time, for the time being. What Lee is going to try to do, I feel, Lee needs to do something with these 4 stones right here. Yes, you're connected on the bottom right here, but Choi can easily come in and potentially do something, maybe do a 1-space extension and with an extension down, maybe trying to squeeze Lee's white groups right here in the middle, so that no I shape can be formed. And this is going to pose a little bit of a problem, especially with the influence in the middle. But there is a lot of cutting points right now. At least Lee could cut right here, or could Atari this stone on the h8 position and pretty much escape from Choi's encirclement or entrapment of this middle group right here. And so what's happening is that we do see a co-battle right now. Not really a co-battle. I don't think there's a lot of threats right now that could happen with this co-battle, but they're going in for the co-battle because I don't know why. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know why we're doing a co-battle right now, but what's happening is that Choi is going to respond to the capture on this co-threat right here with an invasion in this top left-hand corner. And, you know, Lee is like, you know what? I'm going to end the whole co-battle. I'm just going to capture you and break everything and pretty much establish myself with 2 eyes right here. And so it's and exactly what I said. Lee, his 4 stones right here are somewhat in trouble. He may need to pay attention to that later on in the game. But, you know, I'm pretty confident that Lee can defend. All Lee has to do is really play right here just to connect his groups, or possibly even if Choi plays right here and Lee is trying to run away, that's still 4-ish, 5, maybe 6 points that Lee might have to give up. But if you look at in terms of the rest of the map, 6 points for a value of potentially 20 later on, that might be a willing trade, at least for Lee's position. That might be a good trade later on. So but those 4 stones are somewhat I'm keeping an eye on these 4 stones right here. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on those 4 stones, but I'm thinking that Lee may potentially trade those later on for a potential or for a better territorial capture right here. There's still a lot of potential right here. You have so much potential, especially in the center right here, that Lee can utilize and use as a trade for those 4 stones. But what we do have right here is Lee is going to start building a wall. He's essentially sacrificing his 2 stones right here due to the Atari threat right here that he just put Choi on. And so that was a Sente move. He's just gained the momentum back, and now, or he's already had the momentum, but now he is going to be playing a 1-space jump right here, which is a nice move. I do like this move. This does put a lot of pressure on these cutting points right here, and Choi does see that those cutting points might potentially be somewhat of an issue, but she's not going to respond to that just yet. I believe she's saying, or at least she's thinking right now, is like, you know what? If you're going to add a lot of pressure to this center group, I know I have some time, some room to wiggle just a little bit. So as you are attacking maybe 4 or 5 points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce your territorial gain right here using the second line move right here, and potentially try to gain some territory myself. So not only is she reducing White's territory in that top left-hand corner, but she's going to use this chance to build a strong wall right here and potentially extend out, creating another base. And that, sacrificing a move somewhere in the middle, potentially putting 2 or 4 stones up at threat, might be a good trade. And so what I'm seeing right now in this game, at least, is the value of trading, or the efficiency of trading right now. There's a lot of offers being put on the table, but no one's taking those offers just yet. So I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen really soon. So whoo. So I'm hoping that everyone's New Year's has been very well, very wonderful, much celebrated. And I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying more Go games, playing more Go games, or learning about Go during this new year. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this game right now. I'm really loving this strong fortification that Choi has built. What I'm seeing is that Lee now is going to do an extension towards the middle, reducing. I mean, if we look right here, just look at the positioning right here, we do see Choi somehow overextending herself in the middle right here. There's no reinforcement for this single stone right here. She's not playing anywhere near her groups. And what Lee can easily do is probably overextend, probably play somewhere around here and surround this single stone so that the stone won't be used efficiently later on. But that one stone might potentially be problematic if Lee doesn't respond. So what Lee decides to do is connect it with this group and do another one space extension right here. What might have happened, or what Lee might have saw at least, is this stone might be used to extend downwards or even extend outwards and potentially build a nice little territorial value right here. This stone might be that centerpiece, that linchpin that holds at least these two groups together with each other. And so Lee does not want that to happen right now. He's going to extend out. He's going to put a lot of pressure on these stones over here. And what we do see is Lee's really trying to build his territory right here. But what Choi has been doing this whole time is Choi has been playing a non-territorial game. She knows that she's not going to get a lot of territory out of this, but what can she do? She can force Lee to keep playing in his own territory. That one, yes, she's going to sacrifice a couple stones, but she's going to reduce Lee's territory by 2 or even 4 more territorial points, because for every stone she puts in, Lee needs to circle those stones at least 4 stones to capture one of her stones. So in essence, she's playing a non-territorial game, reducing a lot of Lee's territory space in this top left-hand corner, which I'm really liking right now. I'm really liking that non-territorial chase. And so what we do see is Choi is now trying to extend out. But look at the way Lee is building his forces right here. He's building, a lot of eye shape, a lot of eye space. Whoops. What is going on? We have a analysis somehow. Anyways, that is not what I want to do. Okay, come on. Control Z. Z. Thank you. And so what we do see is analysis mode, and the AI is going crazy. I don't know what's going on, why the AI is being played right here, but we do see what AI does recommend if you do play in this position. I probably didn't set it correctly. I want to turn off AI mode. I don't know how to turn off AI mode. Let me see really quickly. We are on move number 100. You know what? Let's just go on with it. Who cares? It's OGS, guys. We are going to keep going. So, bad part of my part, I'm the commentator and I'm having AI help me out with this game right here. So anyways, I don't know why AI went all crazy right there. So, but what we do see right now is the development of this wall. And as I was saying, Lee has done a great job right now. He's built a lot of eye shape in this bottom group right here. And what we do see is Lee is doing a lot of reducing in the center right here. He is preventing Choi from building her forces and connecting her two forces right here with each other. Now, what I do see, at least what I do see is, yes, Lee's forces seems to be somewhat scattered, but look at how dense Choi's forces are. She's really blocking in this given area. She's really confined into that area, and that might pose an advantage for Lee. Yes, Lee is a little bit more spread out. That's fine. His forces are a little bit more scattered, but it's a game of surrounding, not a game of strengthening and confining. And so if Lee is able to prevent Choi from building her eyes, from building her saving grace, so to speak, for her forces right here, then he may be able to really reduce that territory so much to the point where he might be able to capture it. And so what I see about Lee's group is that he has enough room to build those eye shapes. Choi right now is somewhat on the defense, and I'm not too sure if she's able to build as much eye shape as she wants to. Right now, what the move that really stands out to me, at least right now, is either this move right here or this move for Choi. I don't know why. I just see that might be a potential for her to build eye shape, at least for her center group right here. But who knows? Maybe she knows something that I don't. But what we do see right here in this top right hand corner is now another conflict starting. So we've had about 4 conflicts started in this game already, and what we have right here is Choi is like, no, don't take my corner. Lee's like, I'm gonna take my corner, and Choi is like, oh, fine, you take the corner, I'm gonna build a wall outside. You take this little itty bitty space right here, and I'm gonna build a wall, and I'm potentially going to come out and try to strengthen these 4 stones, or these groups of stones right here. Now this is a strong group of stones, but Lee has a huge strength right here. This group essentially right now, for the time being, is alive. If Choi plays right here, sorry guys, I'm stuttering right now. If Choi plays right here, this I shape essentially is going to die down, and I don't think Choi wants to do that. I mean, this is such an important move right here, just to weaken this wall. At least just weaken this wall by putting this corner wall piece right here in Atari. And so that might be a critical play later on. Maybe do a peek first right here, trying to cut this group in half, and then play in this position. That would be a cool strategy for the time. And so what we do see is a common Joseki pattern. We do see that they're going to be exchanging evenly. Not evenly, but they're going to do a neutral exchange where Lee takes the little corner, the top right hand corner, and Choi gets the middle influence. And I think Lee's okay with that. He does have some strong groups that can come in to invade and reduce the territory. So I don't think Lee is too worried about that. Choi, for some reason, is playing here. So let's imagine why she's going to be playing right here, right now. What she does see is that this group of white stones and this group of white stones right here are somewhat strong, but there are weak points in the groups. And she doesn't want this whole area to be the territory of white. So if she's able to build a wall and then connect her wall right here to this group of stones, I think that would reduce a lot of territory that white may potentially control, especially if white played right here, disconnecting these 2 groups. I mean, that's at least from what I'm seeing right now, that amount of territory, we're looking at like 30-40 points. That's a huge amount of territory, and so it's not something to be taken very lightly. And so what we do see right here is Lee is building those eye shapes right here. He already has 1 eye. He could potentially create another eye by capping right here and then forcing Choi to play the Atari or to extend out, and then he plays down, and that will right there. And so that could be something that he might be looking at, and now he is going to break into Choi's fortification. He's going to start chipping away at that crooked wall. There's a lot of cutting points right here. We do have a lot of cutting points, and he was playing very aggressively, trying to break this wall in half. And so it might work. I mean, he was playing a Sente move. He was putting this stone at Atari, which forced Choi to connect her stones right there. Now, what I would be interested to see is potentially a wedge right here. For some reason, I want to look at that wedge. If Lee plays a wedge piece right here, so Lee, I'm gonna code him in blue. If Lee plays right here, Choi's going to have to respond, and most likely Choi's going to respond with the extension downwards, because if she doesn't, then Lee has a better time just capturing those groups of stones, at least later on. Okay. But that wedge, I don't know why I like that wedge over there, but let's pay attention to what's going on. And so again, Choi's in that reduction game. She's trying to reduce his territory by making him play in his own territory. And so what we do see is Lee is going to connect. He's not going to do a 1 space play. That would break the wall because that stone is in Atari. And now Choi is going to try to gain this territorial influence right here. And it wouldn't surprise me if Lee is going to extend outwards, maybe a knight's move away or a big knight's move away. There we go. It wouldn't surprise me if he extends, because he doesn't want Choi to gain that much territory. And playing a large knight's move away is an okay move. He does have a lot of weak points that he could take advantage of right here or right here. Again, this helps him create these 2 eyes and potentially disconnect this group right here. And it wouldn't surprise me if he does a 1 space extension. But Choi was like, nope, I'm not going to let you extend upwards. I'm going to sacrifice this one stone because I can cap you right here. And, that might be a move. That might be a move. And Lee found a nice move right there. Wow. Lee found a nice move right here, and it's going to force Choi to make a decision. Either A, defend your stone right here, B, block me or block him so that you have I shape, or C, Tanuki elsewhere or do something else. And so this is a nice threat right here. Just to come in right here, destroying this potential eye is a really cool maneuver, and I really like that. And so what we do see right here is Lee is going to extend right here, preventing Choi from taking that territory. And now he's going to play a peeping move. Will Choi respond? I don't know. Maybe Choi will play right here on the edge just to solidify this group right here. But she decides to play the bamboo's joint shape right here. So this is right here, when you have two stones next to each other with a one space gap in between of those two stones, that is what we call a bamboo's joint, and this is completely connected at this point. And so what we do see is a clamping move on this single stone. Most likely, Lee is going to probably connect down here. He's probably going to connect down here, trying to extend out. But if he does do that, he needs to somehow defend his one stone right here by playing a stone in these two positions. Because the clamping move will not work. Because if Choi comes in and clamps his stone right here, it just doesn't do anything. And so Lee had to play right here to at least build that potential for the clamping move next turn. And Choi, she's a 9-dan professional. She read that. She's going to completely disconnect Lee's group right here from this group. And so, I don't know. This is a game. And right now, Lee might potentially be losing this top right-hand corner. Just because his two stones right here are in danger. But, Lee... I don't know. I'm looking right here. This cutting point for some reason is standing out to me. But we do see Choi finally connecting her stones right here to connect her group right here. And so I don't know who's ahead. At least me looking at the board right now, if I was to calculate what the heck is going on, let me see. I want to say that just by watching right here, I believe Lee has this territory. Lee has this amount of territory right here. This one, I think for me, is a question mark. I actually don't know whose territory this is right off the bat. I want to say this is Choi's territory, because if she extends one, Lee plays, she extends right here and captures this, maybe Lee will get like 2 or 3 points. So maybe the top right hand corner is in question. This is Choi's group right here. This is Lee's group right here. This is Choi's territory right here. This is Lee's territory, definitely Lee's territory right here. Choi's territory is right here. This is still a potential. We don't know whose that is. This is Lee's territory, or sorry, Lee's territory right here. Okay. And there's still a little bit potential for Lee. So as of right now, just basing on my eyeballing of the map itself, it looks like Lee is in a massive lead right now. He has a lot more territory, actual territory, than Choi has at this moment. And so Choi has to do something. Choi has to start building eye shape. She has to start extending and reducing Lee. If she's able to build 2 eyes in the center of the map and connect through this main chain right here, if she's able to connect this main chain but with 2 eyes, I think then that will turn the tide of the game. But just eyeballing it right now, I see Lee being massively ahead. It's going to be really hard to reduce Lee's potential right now. All of his group is really well connected. Even if Choi does come in and tries to disconnect Lee with his 4 stones right here, Lee could just play right here and connect the rest of his group. So I don't see Choi doing much damage besides what she's doing right now. And right now she is literally just trying to defend her tiny little bottom left-hand corner. And Lee's like, you know what? You can defend all you want. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna play right here, and then I'm gonna play right here, and then this whole group right here is dead. And that's at least what I'm seeing. And Lee's like, you know what? I don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna make you play in your own territory, so you're gonna lose a lot more territory, and you're essentially gonna lose. Who cares? And so what Lee is doing right now is reducing the amount of liberties that Choi has, as well as reducing the potential eye shape. And so he's forcing Choi to start playing in those critical points. And so Choi has to respond to this. Otherwise, she's going to lose these 3 stones. So she's going to have to fill in that potential eye spot that was there originally. And now she's going to have to do something because this dragon right here is about to get captured. And oh my gosh. And this is what I mean. Here is another critical point right between the elephant's eye. Not only is it between the elephant's eye, but Lee is putting a lot of threat on this dragon shape right here. Putting a lot of threat by playing there, because if Choi doesn't respond, Lee just has to extend out and encompass this whole dragon shape formation right here and gain another 28 points potentially, or at least 14 points potentially. That was a critical move, potentially disconnecting these 2 groups from each other. But now that he has a bamboo's joint, the groups are connected. He can pretty much Atari or take the capture right here. He is in a fantastic position, but he does have to be careful, because if Choi is able to extend outwards right here, now she has a nice territorial positioning. And so Choi knows that her eye shapes are very weak. She doesn't want this stone to be completely surrounded, because that is not a good thing right now. And so, Lee's going to be like, you know what? You do that. I'm already solidified. This is my eye shape right here. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm fully connected. We're good. And so Choi is like, I have to start building 2 eyes. There's got to be something that I can do. And Lee is like, you know what? You build 2 eyes. I've already encircled you right here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start strengthening my border and just, preventing you from extending at all. What we do see is a wedge move right here. That's a nice move. Maybe Lee will respond with the connection on the bottom, which he does. That's an okay move. Potentially, maybe... No, she's probably going to connect. I think she's going to connect right here. I don't see her taking the risk of playing in that second line. That's a really hard way to lose more points, or a really easy way to lose more points. Excuse me. So, what we have right now is we're now in the middle to end game. And as you guys have been noticing, since I've been commentating from the beginning of this game, as well as other games in the past, once we get to the middle / end game, things kind of slow down just a little bit. And this is where concentration is critical. If you guys have ever played a live match or played an in-person match, you guys know fatigue is a big thing. Brain fatigue, decision-making fatigue, all the decision power that you made at the beginning in the opening is what's going to drain you towards the end of the game. And end game is just as important as it is in the opening game. And so right now we're getting to that end game position, and misreading can occur quite often. And just really look out for these 2 critical points right here. This dragon shape does only have 2 critical points. So if somehow Lee decides to extend and Choi does not respond, this whole dragon shape is going to go down. I don't think that's going to happen, because she is a 9-dan professional and she is known to be the queen of Go. So we'll see what happens. But what Choi is going to try to do is extend and reduce. The game is all about territory. How much territory do you have at the end of the game versus, how many capture pieces you have. It's all about territory. Capturing pieces, yes, is a good thing, but it really is that. And so we do see that clamping move. We do see the connection of the 2 groups with the clamp. But Lee's like, you know what? You can clamp all you want. I'm still gonna take your eyes. I mean, you're not gonna form your eyes that easily. You're not. I'm gonna take my territorial point, and I'm not going to overextend. But I'm gonna take my territorial point, and we're gonna call it a day. Okay. And so, man, Lee is just so aggressive in this game. He's just at Choi's neck the whole entire time, not letting her build any shape. He's ruining all of her shapes. She has to, maneuver around Lee, and it's just a fabulous, fabulous game right now. I mean, this right here is a very interesting point. I do like this move, just extended, just take that point, force Choi to connect her groups right here. That would be really, really cool. I would like to see that. But essentially, these groups are connected, so I'm not too worried about Choi's group. We're in that middle. But let's see here. Again, this is all about reducing. Lee is going to force Choi to connect right here because that is a Sente move. If Choi doesn't respond, then what's going to happen is Lee is going to play right here, putting these 3 stones at greater risk and essentially just dismantling this whole entire top left-hand corner. Because again, you want to keep these stones alive, at least those 3 stones alive, so that these 2 stones will die. And if you don't, essentially, if these 2 stones go free, then this whole entire corner is territory of Lee. And right now, we don't know whose territory it is yet. There's still a question mark on the territorial boundaries right there. So we don't know whose it is yet. And so I would like to see that later on, to see whose territory that is. And now what we're going to do is a co-battle. It's going to force Lee to play right here. No, Lee's going to go down. Lee's going to reduce even more, preventing Choi from making any eye shape in this bottom corner right here. Maybe she'll make 1 eye shape. That's it. But if Lee plays right here, essentially all of her eye shape just dies. Right? I think all of her eye shape will die. And now we are in another situation. And so now Lee has to do something where he maintains pressure, because if somehow Choi is able to get 2 moves in anywhere else, that's going to overturn this game, which I don't think right now is going to ever happen, because Lee's group is very, very connected. And what Choi's going to do is she's going to probably recapture this bottom bit and do something about that. Yes, and she does. And so she's going to recapture this bottom. But I really don't think that 1 point is going to do much. I really don't think that 1 point is necessary. They're doing a co-battle, but I don't see the co-threat right now. I mean, Lee can just end that co-battle and just go. What I do see potentially is that if Lee doesn't respond properly or just doesn't care about the Choi might be able to overtake this middle portion of the territory right here and really do a lot of pressure and invade into Lee's potential right here. And so maybe that's why they're so fixated on that It could be that. It could just be who wants to gain the middle hand right here. And if that eye shape or that Liberty dies, that's going to pose a lot of issues. So we'll see what happens. I am not sure yet. I'm definitely not sure yet. So, but what we do see is the continuation of the borders as we go on and on and on. And so, as you guys are watching the game unfold just a little bit, I'm going to say my thoughts. I'm just going to give my opinions on this game. This game right now is complicated. At least for my DDK brain right now. This is a super complicated game. Just being able to not respond to every single threat, that I find is amazing. I'm finding the efficiency, the shape forming of these 2 players amazingly efficient. And I'm just in awe at their play style, their playability. They're able to read so much further than what I'm able to read right now. And it's amazing and it's insane. Ooh, there is a really, really nice move right there for Choi if she does decide to take that. Okay, just putting these 3 stones at Atari would be a nice take on it. Oh, she's going in for the kill. This is a total response. Choi has to respond to this, because if she doesn't, Lee's gonna take and it's gonna really overtake this bottom left hand corner. So Choi has to respond to that, and Lee is pretty much going to go back and take the right? Lee's gonna take the right? Yes? Yeah, Lee's gonna take the So there was a lot of threats right there, and that was one of those co-threats. And so, oh my gosh. But Choi does have to be careful. Let's see. You have 1, 2, 3 liberties. At least for this whole group right here, there's 3 liberties. Because if somehow Lee is able to play here, Choi has to respond. Lee's playing here or here. That's going to pose a little issue later on down the road. And potentially this whole entire group might die off. Really has to be careful. And so this unit right here, this is your linchpin right there. And so Choi does have to keep an eye on this linchpin right here. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But to have this 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties versus 1, 2, 3, Lee's behind 2 moves. If Lee wants to win this liberty race, he has to really fill in this gap right here. And so essentially Lee's going to give up this ko. He lost the ko. And he's pretty much going to trade territory for territory at this point. Lee just has to play one more move. Yes, he could extend down or connect. Connecting is probably the better move. Yeah, Lee has to be careful. This huge group right here is now in critical danger. And yep. Does Lee make it? I don't think so. I think this group now is dead. Right? Oh! Oh! Did Lee make it? Oh my gosh, Lee just made it. Oh, I did not see that move. Lee just totally took this whole group because the reason why Choi can't play right here. Choi cannot play right here. She only has 1 liberty on this whole group. So Choi plays at T1. Lee just captures the whole group, so she can't play there. She can't go down because then she's putting her group at 1 liberty. And so this whole group is dead now. That whole group is dead. Oh my gosh, you are amazing, Lee. Wow. Wow, that was a good move. That Q1 play. That I did not see that just yet. I was counting the liberties as he was playing Q1. I was counting liberties like, oh, it's a 3-2-1 plays. If she plays at R1 first, she would capture those 3 stones. But no. Oh my gosh, Lee just shot up. Like, how many points did Lee just shot up? 2, 4, 6. That's 12 points, 13, 14 points. 14 points. He just shot up 14 points by capturing that. Yes, he gave up some territory over here. That's like 3 points. 3 points for 14. Yeah, take that trade. Take that trade anytime you want. I will do it. And so right here is another. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. That was truly, truly amazing. Oh man. And we do see Choi's trying to connect her group so that she can extend down, but that's not going to do much because Lee sees that. He's going to play right here. If she extends down, he just captures. He's safe. He's good. He's okay. Oh no, we're in another co-battle. 3 co. Is this the 3rd or the 4th co-battle this game? Oh my gosh. And so now Lee is going to put pressure. Choi's going to capture those 2 stones. Yep. She has to capture those 2 stones because her 2 stones are at threat. And so what's happening? Does Lee's group survive? Can Lee build his I shape right here? If Lee's able to play in those 2 positions, he's safe. He's safe. He won't have much issues defending. Can he defend here? He's going to capture. She's going to extend up, but no, this has 2 eyes already. You can't do anything. That was a good move. That was a good move. But now she's going to take back the ko. Okay. She's going to take back the ko. And Lee has to play in a critical position right now. He has to play in the critical position. He's going to threaten those 2 stones again. So now she has to respond. She's going to connect or capture. I would say just connect at this point. Put this stone at Atari, but she doesn't. So she decides to capture. He's going to capture back that ko right there. and prevent her from extending out even more. The territory is really important. If she gains this territory, she's going to reduce Lee's territory right here in the top left hand corner, and that's not what he wants right now, not at all. Now she's going to start putting pressure on these two stones. I don't know if that's a I don't think that's really a Coco threat. But he's like, you know what? Let's keep dancing. We're gonna keep dancing. That's a-okay with me. But you know, oh man. I mean, this is the beauty of going into co-battles. You are essentially allowed two moves, two moves in a row. Because for the person, if they give up that co, they're going to lose massive points, and that's generally the time where you want to go into a co. And like I said, the 2 critical points, didn't I say that? 2 critical points. And so if she didn't respond, she would have lost the top right hand corner, and now she has to respond by playing in the other critical point, because if she doesn't, then Lee has 2 eyes. Essentially, he has the eye right here as well as the eye right here, and that this group is now forever living. But by playing in this critical position, essentially she stopped that. But now Lee's other critical eye position is right here and right here. If he's able to play in those 2 positions, I think he'll be good with this top right hand corner. And so he might even force that. He might just force that. He might play right here just to force it. No, he's gonna go. Didn't I say that? That dragon. Oh, I called this 40 moves ago. He's going to do an extension right here, threatening this position. She has to respond to that. Otherwise, she's going to lose this whole entire group right here. And is that something that she wants to trade? And right now, she's saying, yes, I want to trade that because I'm going to grab these 4 and this if you don't respond. And so the thing is, oh my gosh, she's going to try to save her group. She's going to try to save her group because right now she's in co. Right? Because Lee can play right here. And she's going to force, and now she's going to capture right here. She's going to capture that piece right there, forcing Lee to play right here, because now he only has 1 liberty. Look at these 4 stones right here. He only has 1 liberty. And if he gives that up, this is a critical point right here. If he gives this up, this whole entire group essentially is going to fall apart. He has to connect. And she's going to connect right down here. She's going to connect on the B19, putting a lot more pressure. She's going to extend in. Not yet. Oh, this B19. She doesn't want to lose this dragon yet. So this B19 move, I think Lee needs to respond. Okay, either retake the ko or play a B19. He's going to play a B19. Now what is she going to do? What's her last ko threat? Is there another ko threat that she has? Oh, these 3 stones. Oh my gosh, she's doing the double whammy. The double whammy attack. The thing is, now she's going to take back the ko. Oh, okay, so he already solidified in. He's fine. She's going to take back the ko. She has to take back the ko. She doesn't want to lose that. And then essentially, I think she's going to end the ko battle. I don't see a lot of other ko threats anymore. I really don't. Okay, yeah, that's... oh yeah, well, she's gonna connect. Okay, that's fine. She's just gonna connect. All right, she's gonna connect. She doesn't want these groups to get disconnected at all, so she's going to connect to maintain her eye shape right here. And so he's gonna take it back. Yep. Oh. What is she going to do? Well, she's going to connect, and I think Lee is now going to solidify the ko. I don't think he's going to do any more ko battles. No, he decides to add more pressure. Now, why is he playing on the first line? Now, in my learning experience, at least when I'm getting trained, my sensei has told me never ever play on the first line, because first line means deadline unless you're towards the end game. And I think that's the only time that you'll ever play on the first line. But this first line move, for some reason, Lee saw something on this first line move. I don't know what. But this first line move must be a reason, putting pressure on these 4 stones as well as preventing any eye formation for this group right here. I think I think Lee saw something. I think Lee took a lot of time for this move to think about uh, on this match, and so, whew, yeah. Now we're just filling out borders right here. Most likely Lee might play down here. I think. Um, no, Lee decides to connect. Okay. He does. Oh yeah, connect. Doesn't put himself in double Atari. He's going to connect. She's going to connect probably. Yeah. Yep. She's going to connect. Now what? What is there left to do? Is there anything left to do? Lee might extend down, maybe? Now, this group right here is in huge, huge trouble. We see, okay, so guys, take a look at this. We do see Lee's group being in somewhat of some trouble right here. This whole top territory. This is scary. Because Choi has this wall. She has this with a bamboos joint. So essentially her groups are all connected to the double I right here. And she also has this wall right here. And so Lee's group is surrounded completely. His group right here, his group, I'm going to call it Group X. Group X is completely surrounded by black forces. And so what is going to happen in this move right here? So she's pretty much throwing, oh, is this another co-battle? There's another this is code number 5. Code number 5. Lee has to respond to that, and Choi's going to take the co down here. My gosh, 5 co's in a row. 5 co's. That's amazing. Yeah, no, you have to connect. This is scary right here. This is scary right here. At least for Choi, that's really scary. That zigzag wall is really hard to invade. Oh man. Okay, so Lee decides to take, and potentially Lee's going to connect. Okay, he does not want Choi to have this territory here at all. Does not want Choi to have that territory. Oh man. Whoa, my voice is going. As you guys can hear, it's kind of raspy right now, but it is going. And like I said, the three points right here. Oh man, this code. There's so many code threats. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how many code threats there were. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that Lee is now looking to invade right here. If he invades right here, this whole group pretty much dies out. It is gonna get hurt really, really badly. So yeah, no, this four piece right here is gonna get hurt really badly. Lee just has to play right here, the J5 position to disconnect this group from this group is vital at this point. If Lee's able to get it 2 moves in, that's a really good positioning right there. Okay. So Lee decides to connect. Most likely, Choi is gonna play right here. That's one of the reasons why she extended out this way. She does see that this might be a potential issue later on, and so she's gonna extend, reducing Lee's territory count right here. She will extend, and most likely she's gonna play right here, underneath, to D1. No, not yet. Oh man, this game, amazing game. This is an amazing game. I'm just baffled by their strategy. Their strategy is just so unique, so hard to follow. At least for my current level, it's really hard for me to follow this. And so, like I said, yeah, she's gonna put this stone at Atari and threatening this whole entire group right here. This group is now going to be under threat very, very soon. And so if she takes a ko, which most likely she's gonna take another ko, this group is gonna be in somewhat of a danger later down the road. Okay, so Let's see what happens. She decides to make the dog face right here. So whenever you have 3 stones in a triangle with the 1 space in the middle, that's what we call the dog face or the dog shape. And so he's gonna play the dog shape right there, putting a lot of pressure on this cutting position as well as this position up here. This group right here. He's pretty much preventing this stone from getting connected with everything else. If he's able to extend out 1 more, this is in trouble. Okay. Where is that it? Is that game over? Oh, that's the last move. Game over. Oh my gosh. And so let's see the estimated score values. The estimated score values is white has won by 8.5 points. As you can see right here, yeah, there's a lot of potential in this bit of the board right here. And so, but white ultimately just totally captured everything. Yeah, black wasn't able to connect her stones here. And so, yeah, that was a tough game. That was an amazing game, but a tough game. But she lost by 8.5 points, which is amazing. That is a lot of points to lose by, especially in a professional 9-dan, 8-dan game. At least in my opinion. What I'm used to seeing is like 3 points, 4 points, but 8.5 is quite a bit. And so, but what a game! I mean, Lee's play style for this game was very scattered, extremely scattered, but was connected. It was like jogging. All of his groups were jogging through this whole game, whereas Choi's group I felt was more condensed. It had a lot more fortification, but was much slower. And so Lee was able to quickly outmaneuver her throughout this whole match and was really able to put a lot of threats, a lot of pressure on a lot of her groups. And so, yeah, I'm in reflection mode. I shouldn't be in reflection mode right now. So anyways, guys, that's it for the game. I'm going to stop the commentary right here. Otherwise, I'm going to go on for a whole nother hour just thinking about this game. But I hope you guys enjoyed that the commentary. I know in the last 20 minutes, we kind of got silent towards the end game because we're focused. And I'm just loving the strategies that comes out of these players. I mean, it's just so the human mind is amazing. Okay, let's just put it that. Anyways, that's it for today. If you guys do enjoy this commentary, this content, please give me a like, give me some feedback on what you guys saw in the comments below throughout the game. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video recording. So I'm going to end it right here. Take care, guys. See you all in the next recording.